everyone who implements these 5 micro habits, which literally take up no time, can completely transform their productivity within one day. So there is no excuse not to implement them. You see, habits can feel like a big commitment. It seems like you have to put a lot of time and effort into a habit. But we shouldn't overlook the small things that can have a big impact on our lives as well. That is why in this video I'm going to share with you 5 easy, fast and no excuse habits that will help you be more productive. From starting your day productive or making it easier to do your hardest plans and goals, these 5 habits cover a lot. I'm speaking from experience because I've been doing these habits myself and I have seen how much they can help. Let's start straight with the first habit, which is no social media before 12 p.m. So I know how it feels like to wake up and the first thing that you do while you're even still laying in bed is taking your phone and checking your messages, going on social media and scrolling. And I can tell you, and I think you know that as well when you already did it, that this is not a productive start to the day. When I do that, I feel how I'm not as motivated to do something afterwards, and I feel like a lot of my focus and energy that I had, I spent scrolling, so literally doing nothing good for yourself. I truly believe that the beginning of the day says a lot how the rest of the day will turn out. So it's very important that you can stay focused in that time and you do something good, and that is not scrolling on social media or checking it all. And also when you start working, there's no way to you to grab your phone and start looking just quickly on your social media and then start to work. So you have less distraction and can get instantly to work and the things that you want to do. And also in general, it's just good to be less on your phone because there are always better things that you can do instead of scrolling. So if not looking on social media, you can take really a slow morning, and that will make it easier then to really focus on the work that you want to do. What I use to really make sure that I'm not on social media, because in the end you can just say it, but then in the moment it's probably gonna be hard to be like, oh yeah, no, just gonna quickly look. So I use an app to make sure that I'm not just clicking on social media, but there is no way that I'm actually even opening the app. The app is called Burnout Buddy, and you can kind of just choose for how long and which app you kind of want to block. And it really helped me because I know I could go and turn it off, but it's the friction that makes it for me so much realistic that I will not gonna do it in the end, and I'm just gonna close the app and realize, yeah, wait, I made a promise to myself that I'm not going on my phone. So what you can do right now is go and download an app, for example Burnout Buddy, set it all up so you cannot use social media in the morning, and I will guarantee you it already will help a lot because the friction to actually go on an app will be so much bigger. So the second habit has something to do with music. I personally love music, and I truly believe that it can influence you in a lot of ways. So when you're sad and you listen to sad music, and when you're happy and listening to happy music, it just really gives you the vibes. That is what I think also makes it so powerful. So if you, for example, listen to motivating music, the chances that you get motivated is probably so much bigger than when you listen to sad music. But what I want to talk about today that I use in the mornings, in the evenings and by working is frequencies. So if you want to listen to some frequencies, you will realize they sound super boring. There's just kind of some instrument playing with like a bass line, but it helps me to create a creative and productive or relaxing environment, whatever I want in which situation. So for example, in the morning when I wake up, the first hour I'm only listening to frequency music, so I can really start with my own thoughts of the day, and so I don't have an instant dopamine flush to my head, so I can really start slowly. In the evening, 1 hour before I go to sleep, I only listen to frequency music that kind of makes me more relaxed and like wind down, so I'm ready to go to sleep with. So there are a lot of different frequencies, and there's like a whole science kind of behind it, and I think it's really interesting, but it's not the topic in this video. So what I would suggest you to do is just really type in frequency and kind of just look around, because the most frequency playlists also have kind of like a description of what they do or what they help you for. So I, for example, use this frequency when I wake up in the morning. While working, I use this playlist, and before going to sleep, I listen to this song. But you will soon realize there is like frequency for so many things and situations in your life and things that you want to heal off or you want to get better. So really take a look at it. It's something very cool. So, and now to habit 3, which is when you have a stressful time, but also just in general, it's very, very good to go out every day. So I am a person that works a lot at home, and I realized that on my own, like if I don't go out, I always feel kind of I'm rotting inside of here. So going out, get some fresh air, or just even opening a window at least. That would not be a first step, but truly going for a quick walk, like it doesn't have to be long, 5-10 minutes, or just get some movement in is so important. I think it really just gives you an overall good feeling. You clear your head, you can focus afterwards better again because you have some fresh air. So if you feel like you kind of stuck into not working or kind of procrastinating, then go out for a walk. You also can think about a lot of things and process things, so afterwards you're fresh again to do a whole new work session. A small step that you can take to implement that in your life is to plan in every day that you're at home 5 to 30 minutes that you're just gonna go out for a walk or whatever. Do habit 4. If you set yourself an intention of doing something, you're very much more likely to actually follow through. So every Sunday I set myself a time around 15 to 30 minutes. I'm just gonna plan the next week. I'm gonna look at my goal, I'm gonna implement them, I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing everything that I want. It makes it so much easier to achieve all of the things that you want to. Don't forget the goals that you set at the beginning of the year. Don't forget the daily habits that you want to do. If you have them in your calendar, it's so much easier. Also, you have a better overview of what's going on in the next week. And with putting something into your planner, a time block for something, it's kind of a promise to you that you're actually going to do it. And if you plan good, you're going to plan your calendar very productive. So you can really follow through and you don't really have to think what you're going to do next because you already planned it. So you can take your time and focus to do the actual productive thing. So what you can do right now is to plan in every Sunday between 15 to 30 minutes, probably will not even take that long, to just plan your next week and look at your goals that you have for this year and what you want to do in the next year for them and all of your habits and just in general things that you want to do. Now we come to the last micro habit, which is to reduce the friction for something that you want to do. So for example, I am not a gym person in the morning, but there have been times I've been doing gym in the morning. And for me to be easier to actually do it, I would lay out my gym clothing in the evening before, so I would instantly put them on in the morning, and the friction to actually start then with doing sport is so much lower than if you had to change and dress up all again. So with that, I made it so much easier for me to actually follow through with that habit. And there are hundreds of things that you can do like that. So for everything that you want to do, but you know probably in that moment you're not going to be as motivated to do it. So try to make the friction, so all of the steps that you have to take to start a specific thing, as low as possible. It also feels kind of like a commitment. So if you're setting up your camera, for example, you kind of feel like, yeah, oh my god, I already set up everything, I cannot just not film, so it would feel super bad. And with that, you can kind of trick your mind and making it easier to do the good things that not just always easy. So here a small step could be that you think about all of your habits and take the ones that are really hard for you to follow through, and then you think, how can I make the friction to do them so much easier, so chances that I'm doing it is so much bigger. If you want to learn more about adding new habits to your life, even the bigger ones, then check out this video where I talk about a super easy way of how to put your habits into action and make them work for you. And with that, see you the next time. Bye bye.